Hello, I'm Elle, a big Italian Sailor Moon fan, and I'm doing this video because yesterday I discussed with some Seiya fans, Seiya and Usagi shippers, about the way Seiya loved Usagi. And there was some Mamoru bashing, at least in my mind, and I wanted to give my take on this whole love triangle. Mostly, I wanted to say what I think about the way Seiya loved Usagi. His fans told me that he was very honest with her, very similar to her, and that he was romantic like Mamoru never was, and that they preferred him for this, and mostly that. When he declared his interest for her in a way that was well, actually quite clear. In the school rooftop, Usagi was crying over Mamoru's absence, and Seiya listened to her and then went to her, crouched in front of her, and told her, am I not enough? And this was interpreted as a very romantic gesture from him, something that made the hearts of his fans flutter. And I told the discussion began because I wrote under this image that there was the moment that I disliked Seiya the most, because in my mind he shouldn't have ever made Usagi aware that he wanted her to choose, at least not in that precise moment, because Usagi was suffering for Mamoru, and she shouldn't have been pushed into choosing, not at the instant. And other people told me, okay, but Seiya knew that Mamoru was ghosting her, that Mamoru wasn't talking to her, and that he was very, very Mamoru was inconsiderate towards Usagi, and she was feeling a lot of pain for it. So Seiya just wanted to make her happy, and she wasn't at Seiya wasn't at fault for believing that Mamoru was behaving badly. It was natural to believe that. Yes, but Seiya was courting Usagi way before knowing that Mamoru was behaving badly towards her. There was this scene, I don't know exactly how the English fandom saw the Stars season. I know that the Americans didn't see Stars until very recently, I suppose, dubbed, thanks to Vix, right? And maybe you saw it with subtitles. We Italians saw a very embellished version of the fifth season, in which the no, I don't know the word for that. The person who was in charge of adapting the series took many liberties in interpreting Seiya's words, and he made him behave, speak in a more romantic way. So, but there was this moment at the beginning of Stars in which Seiya asked outright to Usagi if she had a boyfriend, and she told him, yes, I have one, he's overseas, and Seiya said then I have a chance, and Usagi was weirded by this declaration, and she thought, what did he mean by that? Okay, this was the first time in which she expressed an interest, and Usagi was very naive, and she didn't want to understand that. But he made a lot of innuendos about his feelings, and even, I don't know if you remember the episode about the softball softball teams competing against each other, and he told his number one fan, a girl with wavy green hair, he told her that he and Usagi were a couple or something like that, and that they couldn't be separated. And Usagi was, don't speak like that, no, we are not a couple. Okay, it seemed like a joke to him, but he kept making jokes about this. They are his feelings towards her, and Usagi. Okay, you can say that she was joking too, but every time she joked, she said, "No, we are not a couple. We are. There is nothing like that between us." So. If we were in another situation today, we would say that he wasn't respecting her will, her decision. She wanted only her boyfriend, and from him she only wanted a friendship. She made it clear many times, and yet he kept insisting that they could be more. So I cannot say. I even heard someone said that Seiya wasn't at fault for falling in love with Usagi. Yes and no, because she had told him repeatedly, made him aware that she only wanted a friendship. So she wasn't responsible for him suffering because he couldn't be the one to make her happy. It wasn't up to Usagi to be responsible for his feelings. She never made something to encourage them. She repeatedly said to him, "I have a boyfriend." Okay. Moreover, the problem here is not Mamoru. Mamoru, I'm talking about the scene in the school rooftop, in which Seiya declared himself, because. Seiya didn't have to respect Mamoru in any way. He didn't know him, and the only thing he knew was that Mamoru had gone away and he wasn't answering his girlfriend. So Seiya didn't have to respect the fact that there was this previous boyfriend. He couldn't care less, and he was right in this. He only should have cared about Usagi, and Usagi's feelings in particular. Usagi was expressing to him a lot of pain in that moment. She had never told another living soul that that her boyfriend wasn't answering to her, and actually she didn't pick Seiya for this. Seiya just happened to be in the scene. He had just thrown a rose, and Usagi had confused the rose for one of Mamoru's, and so she had been shocked by it, and so she spilled it over all the truth she had been trying to hide from everyone else. And so she told Seiya the truth. Sorry for my pronunciation. This is my first video in English. Yes, I already told that, and I don't need to repeat it. Okay. Seiya shouldn't have waited out of consideration for Mamoru, but for Usagi. Usagi was suffering at that moment. He was in love, perfect, okay. He only needed to listen, and told her what? That he was going to be there for her. He shouldn't have respected Usagi and Mamoru's relationship. He should have respected only Usagi's feelings on that moment. She didn't need no other boyfriend, and not even him could in that moment cure her of her pain. She didn't need another boyfriend. She just needed someone. Yes, maybe she wanted. Let's imagine that Mamoru was cheating on her, that he was ghosting her on purpose. Okay. She needed to come to the realization that this love had finished. She had just understood the pain of it. She had just accepted that something was very wrong with the way Mamoru was behaving to her. And so she just needed someone to listen to this. Not in that precise moment. I'm not good enough. I cannot substitute him. That wasn't what she needed. And so I think Seiya behaved in a very egoistical way. He was just a teenager. Let's just say this. He was just a teenager, and he wanted to be the one to make Usagi happy. But today many of us are already adults, and we can understand that that is not the way one should behave when one is in love. No, not when one is in love, when one loves someone else, because you don't put your needs before that of those of the person you love. Usagi needed, if he had really, if Seiya had loved Usagi in a mature way, he would have waited for her to be ready to move on. He should have waited for Usagi to come to close her relationship, confronting Mamoru, and then after that, after being near her, I'm about to use an Italian term, comforter. Okay, that is the correct English one. He was allowed to be there to comfort her. After she had closed the relationship, he should have made her aware that he was also in love with her. Doing anything else before was just egoistical, and I'm not. I cannot conceive it of any other way, and I think that even Sei understood that, because in the next episode, he's waiting. It doesn't seem to me like he's waiting for Usagi's answer, because he's. You can see that he's a little depressed. Okay, or you have, or at least I had the sense that he was aware that he had told her something that maybe he should have avoided, because I think that Sei in that moment expected Usagi to fall into his arms and tell him that okay, thank you for being here for me. I wanted nothing else more than you loving me, and she didn't do that. And Seiya probably just in that instant became aware that oh, she doesn't love me, and she don't need this declaration of mine just right now. And so when Usagi goes to him to give him her answer, sorry, she's actually quite depressed, and since she's so an empathic creature, she who once was brokenhearted because she loved someone that wasn't loving her back. She knew what a person feels when such a pain is too big to handle, and so she cried all the time while she was rejecting Seiya. At least that was my take, but that is another video probably. In here I just want to say that I cannot find romantic the moment in which Seiya declares his love for Usagi, because it's a demonstration of immature love, of that way a person loves when we are in love with the idea of someone and we still don't know the other person, and so we put first our needs, and in that moment Seiya's needs was to comfort Usagi, to be the one to do that. So he didn't think what she needed from him from that moment. She only needed him to listen. He thought, I love her so much that I want to end her pain, and so here I am, and that wasn't that just put her in a more difficult position. And so this is the reason for which I cannot find, I cannot ship Usagi and Seiya, and I cannot even find romantic this moment. And I just want to clarify, I wouldn't have shipped Usagi and Seiya even if Mamoru hadn't existed. But this is a matter for another video, maybe. I don't know. What do you think of this argument of mine? Made me aware of it by writing a comment, and if you are in agreement with what I've said or not, share this video. Let me know. Maybe I see that this is an age-old discussion that is always present in the Sailor Moon fandom. So if I said anything that can be interesting for you, let me know. Thank you for listening to me. See you next time if you want. Bye.